Who made the first move from in the house? Who made the first move?
Well, I think in the house, that was you. I had a lot of walls up. I was like, this is a show. He might be playing me. I was in like a really toxic relationship. I was like, men suck. And
well, so
I was scared.
This is like one of my favorite stories from the show. It didn't make the edit of the show, but before they turn on the feeds, the first day, they give us like this giant charcuterie board for dinner. Like it's like ridiculously extravagant. And on
like $400.
Yeah, it's crazy. On the charcuterie board, there's like cut up dragon fruit. And I obviously know, I'm like looking at Makensy, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm like, no, she's talking about where she's from, she's talking about what she's into, she's gorgeous. I mean, we'd sat her on the table and done intros, and I was like, this girl's amazing. But I was trying to keep it cool and calm, collective. And so I was kind of giving her the cold shoulder. I was going to let it play out. We were obviously planning on being there for a long time. But she walks over to the charcuterie board, and there's cut up dragon fruit on the charcuterie board. Is it backwards?
Yep.
I always do this. Okay. There's cut up radishes on the charcuterie board. And Makensy walks up and goes, "What is that? Dragon fruit?" And I was like, "What did you say?" And so that moment, it was like my end. So every time I would walk around, I'd be like, "Yo, did anybody try the dragon fruit?"
For days.
And it became like the running joke. But I was like, I've got an in, and I'm about to hammer this thing. So for the next couple of days, I would walk around and be like, "Anybody seen any dragon fruit?" And just to mess with her the whole time. So I definitely made the first move for sure.
For me, I'm just in the house. I'm like, what is this dude's problem? Like, can we drop this charcuterie board skit? I'm like, there are so many other conversations we can have, but he just keeps making fun of me about a dang radish. But this is like, I feel like that is not just only for you, but it's such a common thing for guys to like, the way they try and get in is like making fun of and poking buttons. And us girls are just like, it's adorable. And it's also like, but it keeps us, I'm just like, why? Planned. That was his in, but
it was show.
Post-show, yeah.
Post-show, so...
Yeah, he made all the moves inside the house. I will say that. I was very difficult, and I know that viewers know that because they show clips, and I'm like... They're like, oh, what was the one comment? It was super funny. He was like, what's one thing nice about me? And I was like, I really like your calves.
Yeah, and I'm like...
That was the one
I was like, I've trained on my physique for months to be complimented on something that's covered most of the time.
I just figured he never got that compliment before, and I thought it would be funny.
But out of the house, I would say, I didn't know where we were going to be at. And I also didn't know at what extent and readiness Makensy was going to be after an experience like that.
I think connection-wise, it was me.
Yeah.
I would say because, well, here's the problem. Here's what happens. So after we leave the house, immediately, cameras cut off, boom, done. We still don't get our phones. Like the people that got top 3, like you don't get your phones for another 2 days. So thankfully, I guess while I was on the season, my mom and Matt had connected. So they had exchanged numbers. So I asked my mom for her phone, and I text Matt off of her phone. And I'm like, hey, where are you? Da-da-da-da. And
when I got that text, I was like, boom, baby, we're in.
We're back.
This is about to start. We're back. So that was huge. And then from there, that night, I mean, we went back to the hotel, just sat in the lobby. And she had press the next morning, but we just caught up and talked about, everything that had happened. I'm sitting here telling her like, hey, weeks ago, I'm watching you on live feeds being like, Matt's probably dating some supermodel and he's probably
married,
he's probably engaged. And I was like, I'm sitting over here like, girl, I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting to figure this out with you. What do you mean? So, we just caught up and put a lot out on the table of how we were feeling and what we had gone through. And it still took time, but I think that's one thing I'm very proud of us in our relationship is we had a lot of the hard conversations and we put in a lot of the work. And, we were both at a difficult place in terms of previous relationships going into the show. And so we had our walls up and, we're able to slowly let those down as time progressed together and heal some things in each other that have been hurt and mishandled, I know, improperly by others. And it's one of my favorite things about what she's been and done for me, in terms of my relational health and my mental health. And as a man, some of the things that I've been through, she's healed a lot of it. And I've been super thankful for it. So, it's been a tremendous and fun journey outside of the show that, again, I'm thankful we got to do, in a place where it was just between us and without the influence of what we could gain from being together. You know, that was never the focal point in the goal. It was just to consider how something real and genuine could develop within us and navigate it together. Yeah.